Hey guys, welcome back to Car System Installation. We're going to show you how to power up your dash cam on a Kia Telluride 2021. I'm going to show you how to do it properly, nice and clean, professional. No few steps in this video. So if you're looking for a few step installation, this is not the video for you. If you're looking for a professional install, check this video out. So to connect it properly, we will be soldering all our connections. We will have it all nice and clean in this area. So this is your fuse box area. You will see a lot of people taking these fuse taps, put the fuse there, and then you're gonna have the fuse taps, double fuse for your camera running out the power. I don't like this method. We don't offer to have this method installed in our shop. The reason is, first of all, you have something that is sticking out from the fuse top. Sometimes in some fuse boxes it interferes with closing the door properly. Second thing is, not always sitting properly can come off, and let's say if it's you're using a circuit that has any type of meaning or something while you're driving, can cause issues. Also, there's many times you find there is a feedback, which means the system you can't really check which way. You have to check which way the fuse wire enter, because you don't want to be on the same circuit. So sometimes you're gonna mount it like this, sometimes you're gonna mount it like this, sometimes you don't have room, and then you'll start having so many issues. We're gonna install it properly. We're gonna have a heavy duty 14 gauge accessory wire and power wire. We're not going to use this fuse tap at all. Now I already started running the rear camera cable, but that's going to be a different video. This is the video for the powering. So we have the customer supplied us with a thinkware dash cam. The thinkware dash cam requires 3 power sources, 2 positives and 1 ground. The one positive is ACC, which means accessory, and 1 positive is battery, constant 12 volt. Now the ACC accessory is meant to be connected to an ACC connection, which means a source power that turns on when you turn the ignition on, but turns off when you turn the ignition off. Accessory also means that when you crank, it will shut down that power for a second and while cranking. Now, for dash cams, if you can't find accessory, if it's a vehicle that is difficult to find accessory and you found a full ignition, which means when you crank the power stays on, it doesn't shut down, that's perfectly fine. This cameras only has about 2 or 3 amp draw, not gonna interfere with any issues, not gonna cause any problem with starting the vehicle. So we have the fuse box cover open in here, and we immediately in this car can see the connections. So we're gonna show it to you. So we have here, this is our constant 12 volt. The blue one here is our accessory. So those are the 2 wires we need. As you can see, 14 gauge wires, so there's no real need to have any relays or anything. You can connect directly. For the ground, if you've seen my videos before, you know I like to go to the OBD. If we can't find the ground junction, we're just gonna go to the OBD, and pin number 4 is our ground, which is a great ground for the system to work. I'm gonna run all the wires through here to go to the power on the top. So that will be our next stage after the power is completed. But in this video, we're only gonna show you the power. So I'm gonna start by exposing the wires that I need. So if you've seen my videos before, you know, thick wires, the best way that I find to expose is, I'll show it to you. No, it's not the knife. The knife is just to open the cover in here to access it. I'm just gonna move the wire a little bit, and I have the main wire. Now if it's easier for you, you can unplug the connector, really up to you. If you do unplug the connector, just make sure you don't break any wires or anything, or the clips that holding the connector in place. Okay, so we have this red wire. So my trick of doing that is fairly simple. I make a small notch top, small notch on the bottom. As you see, my cutter has a hole in the middle, and then I run a knife in between them. And that's all it is. With my nail up, we have our light went off. With my nail, I will open the piece, and that's all we need. Okay, nice open cover. When you expose your positive, I prefer to first solder it, make sure it's hidden, make sure it's taped back, so you don't have anything that might touch it and burn any of the main fuses. Those fuses will be in the engine bay. It will be a bit more hard to reach. This, in this case, it's a 50 amp fuse. It will be a bit tricky to reach it in the front, or why would you have the headache? So we're just gonna solder the wire. Now I'm using a 100-watt soldering system just to make sure it's hot enough. Thick wires will be much easier using those big solders, 100 watt. If you're using a 25 watt, you might find yourself doing what we call cold solder. Okay. Okay, our next wire is our accessory. Same thick, give it a nick on the top, give it a nick on the bottom, and run your knife between the two. Now I lead it with my finger just so I don't get anything cut. So again, take your time. Do it once, twice, till it opens nicely. Perfect. Go here. Solder that wire. Just to show you, I'm gonna quickly do a test for visuality. So we're with our test light. You can see our red one is our constant, our blue one is accessory. I turn the ignition on, and we have it on. Turn the ignition off, turns off. So this is the power that you're looking for. So these two are the main one that will work. This is a Kia Telluride 2021. Okay. Okay, I have this, and our last wire will be our ground wire. So we're gonna take the OBD out in here, access the OBD easier. Okay, so you can see the OBD very accessible in this car. You see my videos before, you know I said that you can also take the power here from the pin number 16, which is your constant power. So you can take it also. And pin number 4 is our ground. Now be careful, because so for example in this case the ground, pin number 4 and number 5 are together. It has a loop between them, which is great. That means it's a full ground. But sometimes pin number 5 would be a separate wire, and that wire is a ground, but it's a ground for the signal, and it kind of fools around, doesn't always give you a proper ground or something. So don't use it, just use pin number 4, that is your OBD ground, that's all you need. Same thing, expose the wire, solder it. Now as you can see, I routed the wire from the back here, obviously, because you want to be able to close the door of the fuse cover, and everything here will be nice, clean, hidden, soldered. These connections will never come off. You won't have to worry about the connection coming off, the camera not working. This will be a permanent connections. And if you ever need to remove it, it's very easy. You nip the wires, tape them, that's all you need. So that's not a problem of removing this camera in the future if you're planning to reuse it. This method will not prevent you from taking the camera again. Okay, and this is our power. I'm gonna tape it back. This is our ground, sorry. Tape it back, all nice, clean. Now if you have the wires in different locations, so if your OBD is on the, if the OBD is all the way to the other side, well, not a big deal. I'll use a piece of wire, same size of the wire that you have for the dash cam, to extend it. That will be perfectly fine. And our OBD is now clean and nice. And this is complete power installation for the dash cam. So now, right now, I can zip tie it all nice and clean, tape it. I have accessibility here. I don't have anything in the fuse box, nothing that is taped or falling off or jumping out or looks odd, and that is what you want to have. This you won't have to worry about which circuit, everything is going to be working on this circuit perfectly fine. For more videos of how to install dash cams and other electronics in vehicles, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.